Hey there and welcome to RV Gear and Far. I'm Joshua. I'm going to go on a limb here and assume that you know your vehicle's tow rating. This is the maximum amount your vehicle is rated to pull and stop when moving down the road. Another less talked about number is payload capacity. This is the total amount of weight that the vehicle is rated to carry. RV and vehicle sales marketing tends to focus on tow ratings. It's a higher number that makes great commercials. But in the RV space, you're more likely to max out your payload capacity before you reach your tow rating. Think of it this way. You may be capable of pulling and stopping 200 pounds of gravel in a garden wagon that sits on 2 axles and has an articulating tongue. You're pulling that much weight, but you're only carrying the weight of the handle. It'll be a very different experience if you put that same weight into a wheelbarrow. Depending on your size, you'll probably still be able to do it. But with your body, you'll be carrying more of that weight through the handles. That's payload. Now, to transfer this analogy back to the RV space, it's typical to see bumper pull trailers have a hitch weight of around 10 to 15% of the loaded weight of the rig. Fifth wheels are closer to 15 to 20% on their pins. You'll need to deduct that hitch or pin weight from the payload capacity of your tow vehicle, in addition to everything else in your tow vehicle outside of a single 150-pound driver and a full tank of fuel. So that extra propane cylinder that you bring for the grill, your spouse, your kids, your pets, all the tools that you have in the back of the truck, all the groceries in the back of the SUV, you have to deduct that weight from your payload capacity. If you don't know your payload capacity, it can typically be found on the driver's side door jamb, on the tire and loading sticker. Towing capacity is a flashy number, but as an RVer, please take the time to calculate your payload. When transitioning from weekenders to full-time travel, our family calculated the extra gear that we'd be bringing and realized that while we were under the tow rating of our old truck, we would have been over the axle and payload capacity. And keep that in mind too. Each of your axles has an individual rating in addition to your payload. You want to make sure you're within the limits of all the metrics of your complete RV setup. So if it's a truck and a towable, or a motorhome and a towed, the whole thing. Now, the amount of weight that the tow vehicle can carry is super important, but we also need to pay attention to the RV. They have a cargo carrying capacity as well. And you need to make sure you check it for each specific rig, because if you have the same make, model, and year, the cargo carrying capacities can be different because of different options or accessories that are installed. This number can be found on the yellow sticker, typically located on the foremost entrance door of the RV, or on the data sticker, which for towables is found on the front driver's side exterior wall. Motorhomes have them inside, nearby the driver's seat. Now, we lucked out when we purchased this rig. It has a healthy 2,900 pounds of cargo carrying capacity, which is larger than quite a few fifth wheels that offer a ton more volume in terms of storage space. It's also worth noting if your manufacturer calculated that cargo carrying capacity to include the weight of fresh water in the tank. Often it's not, and at just under 8.5 pounds per gallon, that can eat away at your cargo capacity real quick. So think about all the items that you'll want to store in your rig and write them out. You'll find that the cargo you're adding to the rig is probably significantly heavier than you think. I always tend to look for rigs that have more cargo capacity than we need rather than just enough. Looks can be deceiving too, so make sure that you find exact numbers on specific rigs. This fifth wheel that has all this storage space under the rear kitchen, cargo capacity is 1,500 pounds. Absolute no-go for me.